Follow my socials.
Hi beautiful people, May 4th, Hachigatsu no Cinderella 9. Baseball anime, more focused on drama. What? Like I said with Mixu, sport anime tend to focus more in the athletic prowess or in the drama. In this case, I felt they went more for the drama. The visual quality is not wonderful. Eyes floating. There's a character whose eyes change the distance between them from one frame to the other. It's ridiculously poorly done. Flower Crown. The designs are great, and in fact, I think they pull off something that a lot of other anime were trying to do, which is to call more attention to the eye so the characters are more expressive. One thing I should say is that this anime puts their characters in a crowd, and they aren't obviously different than all the others. It's obvious because the camera is pointing them out at all, but their hair is not super different, so they are shown as special from the start. As for the story, there are some uses of tropes that really worry me. Just out of the blue, trope. No establishment, and it's really noticeable. But when the episode is not doing that, it was cute and much more pleasant. And if you see that first part before the opening, ignore it. It's a horrible idea, it has nothing to do with the episode. Ignore it. And a little less than the tropes, but there were some moments where the personality of this character just wouldn't exist. But let the rocks roll. The biggest worry for this anime is the use of tropes, the use of personality, that intro. All of that together tells me that somebody who is scripting it do not know how to script. I need to make this happen, so thrown in. The biggest example of this, in my opinion, is the intro, which is not even there for the story. It's just there to try to convince you that you should like these characters. In my personal opinion, for no reason, because I ended up liking these characters. Maybe not so much Tomoe, but that's because she's a little empty, and it is sheer coincidence that I remember her name. Basically, for those who haven't seen it, the intro gives you all of the reasons for girl power, but it's totally empty. Think Powerpuff Girls 2016. I was watching the opening and thinking, dude, this works way better than you stopping and saying, hey, girl power. So beyond being unnecessary because it's just floating there, it's an island, it's also useless. Basically, what I have to point out from the story is, the club can't exist is a more than obvious trope. The student council president is a villain is a more than obvious trope. And when you throw them in without establishing anything, I'm sorry, but it ruins the work that's being done by the rest of the episode. I liked these characters because of the rest of the episode. This character is cute. She's shy, so that means that she might almost bump into people. This, however, is almost impossible to happen because you put it in a scene with all this open space. But this could be due to low budget and poor production value. There is no reason for her almost falling and having to be saved by the tall girl. She could have slipped on something. You don't have to say that your characters are idiots. One thing that's really interesting in the story is that the leader of them is shown as rigging a play so that the two girls she's trying to convince feel like a part of that team. That requires athleticism and intelligence. It made me like the character much more than her hair having kind of a spiral. So considering all the work that was done with the characters, it's potentially very interesting, but I don't know if they are going to use the interesting part or just rely on the tropes. But that's it. What did you think of this episode? Leave it on the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
And if you enjoyed it, please like, share, sub to the channel, and hit that bell.
I just noticed this was in the background, and this is something my son made for me. Hi, I'm Goku.